I said to Carrie, there's some children that need to go to school, and I know their mother, and she said, I would like to help them, so I wanted you to meet her.
I'm so happy to be able to help.
This story is about moms. I've been on many mission trips over the years, and as I look back on hundreds of hours of footage, I'm realizing that there's a story behind the story, and it's mine. So here's a collection of stories from my view, in my shoes. This episode is about moms doing everything in their power to make their children's lives better.
Well, what I do for a living now is I make software for chiropractors, which is how I got involved with Dave, essentially. But how I got into service is simple. That's just the way I was raised.
The quick background on how Carrie fits into this story starts with a mother named Rauda, and she walked up to Warren on his campus in Kimana, Kenya. She walked up to you on campus. She says, my son, Abraham, was out of school for a couple of years, lost cause, didn't know what to do with him. He's in the school now, and she wanted to show you his report card.
Right.
Just as a mom, she was so happy to show you good grades and that Abraham was still in school.
Wow, he's really good. Wow, look at all the A's. Does this make you proud?
Yeah.
She didn't expect this because they were already, lose hope, this boy. So now the hope is there.
She told me her story, and I believe, if this is right, you were able to earn about 6,000 shillings a month. And it's costing about $200 per term, we'll say, is the average. 3 terms per year, $600. And she's earning $60 per month. So that would be 10 months' salary to be able to just pay for him to go to school. A boy who has the capability of getting A in chemistry, A in history, A in geography, A in CRE. Oh, she's got to be proud about that.
He's a spiritual leader.
Yeah.
He's a spiritual leader. A in CRE, A in agriculture, A in business studies, B+ in physics, A- in biology, C- in mathematics, B- in Kiswahili, C- in English. And he's 3 out of 57. He's the 3rd in the class. That's really amazing. This is really strong.
A great mother is the one who is the cheerleader for the child.
Rauda is not the only mom in this story. Just days later, we met with another mother named Naomi, and she's the mother of Lawrence. And to get to her house, Lawrence had to be our guide.
A little more than 50 meters.
It's like 70 meters.
A little further than 70 meters. That's 210 feet. That's, how far is this? Is more like a quarter mile already.
During the walk, Warren was congratulating Lawrence on what a great job he was doing in school. But Lawrence knows how much his mom, Naomi, struggles just to pay for him to go to school. So he actually brought up a recent career choice that he wanted to make.
So I come home and I started go to mechanic.
Oh, mechanic. So that's what we were talking about, right? Do we know that you would rather go to mechanic? Yes.
I started go to mechanic. This time I have 2 weeks there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
If you don't want to stay in the regular secondary school and you would rather go to be a mechanic, you have to follow what you feel in your heart and what you feel is right for you. May we come in? Okay, thank you. I want to do an interview to talk about Naomi and Rhoda, raising their children, the challenges that they have.
So Warren's there just to talk, research, and ultimately help. Rauda, on the other hand, thinks we're there for a completely different reason.
Yeah.
Ni hali ya maisha tu unajua. Sasa nilikuwa jana nimepigiwa na principal simu. Akaniambia nafukuza hivi karibu sabla last time. Mbaya kulipiwa. Kwa hivyo nilikuwa naanza karibu kuja. Wakati kwa mkuu.
Okay. She said that she was thinking about the Abraham's education because she was called by the principal and told, we have some arrears and I'm going to send the boy home. So she's thinking every time, every moment now, Abraham might be sent home.
There's an error in the books at that campus, and Abraham is not being sent home.
Naomi, your boy decides he wants to go to Polytechnic, to mechanic school. How proud are you of him?
For a while, this conversation ended up being about Naomi's disappointment. If you can see her face, she was not happy about his decision at all. Unfortunately, it's very common.
You know, children are not able to go to school and get an education, something that in America we take for granted. That, in fact, kids, they skip school, they don't go to school, they complain about school. I have yet to find a child here in Kenya that has complained about school. It is the ultimate goal of every parent here to have their children go to school.
He just knows what a burden that is on his mother, and this is unfortunately the choice that so many Kenyans make.
This has been a very lovely visit to come to see you, and we will get things worked through.
Atuombeni. Baba wa mbinguni, kwa jina la Yesu mtakatifu wa Israeli, Mungu muumba mbingu na nchi, bahari na vyote vijazavyo, twalitukuza jina lako, twalihimidi tukisema
We understand that there was a challenge in the last term. School fees came late, but now the resources are there. Given a chance, would you like to go back to school, or you have already decided to go to Polytechnic?
I have decided to go to Polytechnic.
What you're interested in doing and you feel called to do, to be the best mechanic you can be, to repair the vehicles and whatever other things need to be repaired. Hey, maybe one day you'll be an aircraft mechanic.
Sure.
You know, repairing airplanes, boats, cars, trucks, right?
Yes.
So that's valuable, important to follow. Why did you decide you wanted to take that path than another path?
I see that my career is like in mechanics, driving, wiring, that courses.
You enjoy that?
Yes, I enjoy that.
Okay. Lawrence wants to go to Polytechnic school. He wants to study mechanic work instead of continuing on with secondary school. And that's important, that he follows his heart. And so we want to continue to support that.
Lawrence is out, Abraham is still in. And that's where Carrie comes back into this story.
Can you let Rhoda know that Carrie has been helping her son to go to school? Abraham is off the charts. He's number 2 or 3 in the class out of 59.
That's amazing.
And this is a boy who is going to have to leave school.
My mother. I was thinking about my mother and their stories. And my mother was so dead set on our education. We'd come home from school and play school. And so it hit me at that moment hearing their stories, realizing that their moms are like my mom. That was just like blew me away. I hadn't made that association about my getting that scholarship to go to college until we were sitting there talking about it. You're gonna make me cry again. When I went to college, I had a scholarship that someone else paid so I could go to college. And for me to be able to give this money for Abraham and Levis, I'm giving back the gift that someone gave me, and it makes me so happy to be able to do so.
We need help too. And somebody helped Carrie, so Carrie is helping them. It's just a carry on. And I think that was a great thing that she did.
I was just thinking that my mom would be so
And
proud.
that's what it is, asking for help, but not giving it
We're all
away
proud
to
of you.
somebody.
And then I kind of felt like, wow, it all just brought me here. And she prepared me to be here and to be this person, and how lucky I am for that. For me, to do this, it feels like, the full circle. And education was so important in my family, and to hear how well Abraham is doing just blows my mind. It's just so perfect. And in my family, education was the top most important thing, and my mother would have done anything to make sure that we were educated. And so I know that you're doing the same for your child, and that's so important. Yeah, I kind of feel like my mom's here in a way.
You were given a chance, like you're giving these boys a chance. I think that's awesome. That's great.
Yeah, I felt so lucky to be able to have that scholarship. I wanted a specific school I wanted to go to, and my mom said, well, if you want to go there, you need to find money because we can't help you. And so I called the financial aid office, and they found me a scholarship so I could go. I mean, how lucky is that?
Yes, absolutely. And now they've found a scholarship through you, so their sons can do what they need to do. I think that's wonderful.
Especially from what they're learning in baseball with Coach Ueno, and then in school, will make them leaders in this community and make this community grow and be better. And then, you know, they can help other children as they get older.
All I'm saying, what she wants from his son Abraham, should get education, get a job, help other people, I mean, to overcome the challenges she passed through with her son. So help other people to overcome the challenges in life.
You almost lost it in there.
I did lose it in there.
That's pretty special, though, what you said. It's pretty cool.
Well, all of a sudden it hit me about my mom. I was like, oh. I was raised right.
Yes, you were. Giving it back.
Anybody who's done more than they thought possible tends to pay that forward. And I think that's so important with Warren and Carrie, because I'm sure somewhere in their life that somebody took care of them or made them think that they were better than they were at the time. Like, you know, when somebody sees something in you, I'm willing to bet that somebody saw something in Warren and somebody saw something in Carrie. In this story, Carrie talks a lot about her mom really being that catalyst, and not only just a catalyst, but in perpetuity about education and making sure that you do good in grades, and it's paid off for Carrie. I think that anybody who has that wants to pay it forward, and I think that's anybody's full circle. You know, you see so many people sponsoring kids in other countries, and it could be really important because we can only, you know, as Americans, we can only bring in so many people. And one of the things that I would like to share that I've learned on all these mission trips is it looks like the best way to help is to help them where they're at so that they stay and change their community where they live. And it's probably redundant in previous episodes, but every story tends to lead to this, especially when the topics are around helping and changing. That seems to be the way. And that's how I see it in my shoes.